Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you are listening us from. We want to welcome you to yet another great summary that we have for you. Today's summary is from David Goggins from his book Can't Hurt Me. So today's summary is about this book, which is titled Can't Hurt Me. Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. So thank you once again, and we hope that these summaries have been doing a great blessing to you. Have they been inspiring you? Let's know in the comment section, and we'll be ready to adjust wherever maybe you might want us to adjust and so on. But in the meantime, let's get into the work that we are about to go into, and that's summarizing this book, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. So I always begin, that's how I always begin, by giving you an overview of the intended readership of this book, or the people who this book will appeal to, so that probably you do not waste a lot of time, and maybe you are looking for another you are in a different season in life, and maybe this is not your take at the moment. But it is always good that I let you know what this book is for, and this book will appeal to quite a number of people, and I have several of them. I have 7 categories of people this book will appeal to. So see if you are among that list. Number 1 are the athletes. So Goggins' story of overcoming physical limitations and achieving world-class athletic feats is bound to resonate with athletes of all levels. So are you an athlete? David has a story of overcoming physical limitations and achieving world-class athletic champions and recognitions. His relentless pursuit of excellence and emphasis on mental toughness is essential for athletes like you, because he offers valuable insights and inspiration to those seeking to push their beyond their physical boundaries. Athletes also includes the bodybuilders. This is also for you. Number 2, another category are the military personnel and veterans. Military personnel and veterans. Are you a military personnel or are you a veteran? This book is yours, because Goggins' experience as a Navy SEAL, and his unwavering commitment to service and discipline resonate deeply with military personnel and veterans. His perspective on facing fear, overcoming challenges, and building mental resilience can provide valuable support and inspiration to those who have served. Number 3, people facing adversity. Whether it's physical illness, mental health challenges, or difficult life circumstances, many people have always faced adversities at some point in their lives. But Goggins' story here in this book of overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles offers hope and inspiration to those who are struggling. His message of self-belief and perseverance can provide the strength and motivation needed to overcome challenges and emerge stronger. Number 4, it's for individuals who are seeking self-improvement. Number 5, people who are struggling with self-doubt. Number 6, individuals who are seeking motivation. Number 7, people who are interested in mental health and resilience. So do you fall under any of those categories? I know you will probably be. So this book is for you, and you should go ahead to number 1, dive with me into this summary. Number 2, make a point of getting the book for yourself. Additionally, these summaries that I give you, I always say that they are great resources to help you make the right decision and the right choice of whether maybe you should commit your resources, such as your time and your money, buying or reading this book, or even keeping it in your home library. Is it worth it? This summary has got you covered in anything that you might want to know about the book. So before we dive in deeper and deeper, the first things first, things that we'll talk about in this summary includes the main topic. I'll give you 10 key takeaways, yes, and conclusions from the book. I'll also give you themes that Goggins presents in this book. Themes, you can still call them the key ideas which are presented. I'll tell you more about David Goggins, who he is. I'll try to compare this book to other books on the same subject. I'll give you recommendations of other books that you can read which are related to Can't Hurt Me. Then I'll give you some ways in which you can apply the lessons that you learn in this book in real life, things that you can really apply in real life and start seeing the results. So this is probably part 1 of part 2, so you have to check part 2, and then of course now you're in part 1, you'll also have to check part 2 so that you can connect these ideas together and that we might have the big picture together of this summary. Well, why don't we go ahead to look at the main topic of this book? What is this book all about? So the main topic of Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins is, so this is just a simple summary of the entire book. What is this book all about? Of course, it is a memo, whichever you pronounce it. It's about a story of a person, and this person is David. David is giving his story as a Navy SEAL, his story as a world athletic champion. So, in that story that he will be giving us in this book, what is the key message that he is trying to present? What is this book all about? So, the main topic of Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins is all about overcoming adversity and achieving full potential through mental resilience and self-improvement. That is all what this book is about. It's about what? Overcoming adversity or challenges or obstacles along the way and achieving your full potential through what? So his ideology now is through what? Not through habits, not through your philosophies. It's through, in this book now, he presents the idea of mental resilience and self-improvement. Remember, as Tony Robbins says, or he always says in his book, Awaken the Giant Within, that we have a giant who is deep asleep inside of us. That giant are our big dreams, our passions, our desires, or you can still call it our purpose in life. It's always deep asleep. It is upon us individually to take responsibility to awaken it and to unleash it to the world. So in that process of unleashing and realizing and awakening the giant that is within you, there are always obstacles, imposter syndrome, a lot of setbacks here and there. There are a lot of mental challenges, emotional challenges, physical challenges. So you might see that this dream that you have, or this purpose, this giant that is within you, that it's like it's an illusion, simply because of the challenges and the obstacles that you face along the way in your bid to unleash it or even to awaken it. So Goggins or David went through such, just like us, just like you, just like me. He went through those adversities, physical, mental, emotional, all of them, financial, all those challenges that we always face as we try to unleash, discover ourselves, or even serve our purpose to the world. David has gone through all that. And that is why in this book, he wants us to understand the A to Z, the roadmap, the framework, or the how. How do we overcome those challenges? How do we overcome those obstacles and achieve our full potential in serving our gift, in achieving our dreams, or even achieving our destiny? In this book, David focuses on mental resilience and self-improvement. So those are the two key concepts or strategies that David presents to us in this book on how we can overcome the challenges that will always be there. Remember, it's a journey. Realizing our potential and awakening it is a journey. It's not a one-time event. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. It takes time. Along the way, there are hills, there are mountains, there are valleys. That's what we call that. Those are metaphors of the obstacles, the challenges, the financial, the physical, the emotional, the societal challenges. All those adversities will always come. But how do you make sure that you overcome all of them and achieve your full potential live your purpose, achieve your dreams, and become successful as you have that dream in your mind. In this book, David presents the idea of mental resilience and self-improvement. He talks about how the book explores this topic through Goggins' own life story. It's not just a theory, it's a life. It's about his own story. He presents these ideas based on a true story of his life, which is one of the incredible hardship stories and stories of triumph. He details his childhood struggles with poverty, abuse, and racism, as well as his later challenges with obesity and self-doubt. Who doesn't have all those challenges, really? Challenges from our childhood. Maybe it might not be financial, but there are some traumas from childhood. Those obstacles always following you. Abuse. Maybe you are a Black American, or maybe you are a minority in your community. Racism. As well as even in your old life, beyond childhood, beyond adolescence, you still have challenges, such as in this case now of David, obesity and self-doubt, the imposter syndrome, thinking that you cannot make it, that inner critic that is always in us. So all those challenges, they always want to stop us from achieving our potential. But David, through his own true story, gives us the A to Z on how to overcome each and every obstacle. However, through all those challenges and many more that we'll talk about in this book, Goggins ultimately overcame these challenges and became the Navy SEAL, SEAL, Navy SEAL, Army Ranger, Air Force Tactical Air Controller, and a record-breaking endurance athlete. Get those achievements, get those recognitions. He became, out of all those challenges and adversities, David became, number one, a Navy SEAL, an Army Ranger, Air Force Tactical Air Controller, and a record-breaking endurance athlete. So does David qualify to give you the tips, to give you the inspiration to overcome the adversities that you might be facing in the bid to achieve your full potential? Of course, yes, I know that. So this book begins with Goggins' childhood, where he experienced poverty, racism, and abuse. He details how he transformed from a self-proclaimed loser to a record-breaking endurance athlete and sought-after speaker. Goggins credits his success to his ability to push through pain and discomfort, which he calls closing the mind, we shall see that. So during the book, Goggins shares his personal stories and struggles, offering tips and techniques on how to develop mental toughness. He argues that people limit themselves by believing in their own excuses and negative self-talk. He argues that people limit themselves by believing in their own excuses and negative self-talk. Those are the two key killers of your potential. Excuses and negative self-talk. That's where he talks of mental resilience, mental toughness, overcoming those critiques, the negative self-talk and excuses, the inner enemy that is within you. Not even your financial, the outer one, the inner one. That is the main challenge, the main obstacle, and the main devil that has always been stopping you from achieving your full potential. So Goggins advocates for embracing discomfort, setting goals, and pushing beyond physical and mental barriers. So what are some of the key, before we go to the key themes or ideas which are presented in the book? This book is in the category of memos and self-help. So you can still call it a self-help book or a memo because it's explaining the story of a person. So it is the story of David Goggins' life, from his traumatic childhood to his career as a Navy SEAL and ultra-marathon runner. Goggins shares his personal experiences and insights to teach us on how to overcome adversity and achieve our goals. This book was published in 2018 by Lioncrest. It's a New York bestseller and that's been translated into over 20 languages. So the writing style of of David in general is direct, honest, and often humorous. He uses simple language and personal stories to illustrate his points. He also uses practical advice and exercises that we readers can use to improve our own mental toughness and discipline. So the key thing and the key philosophy of David is mental toughness, overcoming adversity to achieve our full potential through what? Not just any other strategy, mental toughness and discipline. Mental toughness and discipline. Well, so what are some of the key themes that this book presents? Number one, we start with the mental toughness. That's the first main theme. The book is all about embracing, growing, and maintaining mental toughness. So I have 10 themes for you, but mental toughness is the main theme. So Goggins emphasizes on the importance of developing a strong mind, capable of overcoming fear, self-doubt, and pain. He suggests that most people only tap into 40% of their potential, leaving 60% untapped and waiting to be unleashed. His 40% rule encourages us to constantly push beyond our limits and break through mental barriers. So an average human being will only spend or use 60% of their capacity. And that's a person that we see them as successful. Sometimes we refer to them as genius and so on. But we still have the 40%. If you can tap into the 40%, your life will change dramatically. So David presents the 40% rule. How you can tap into that 40%. Practical examples and strategies. And how you can tap into that. So do you want to understand how you can tap into your 40% and become the next David Goggins in the world? Yes, that's why you need this book. So David will give you the secrets to achieving or to getting into your 40% of your mind, of your brain. Number two, another theme is self-improvement. Remember, those are two main themes. That is a mental toughness, self-improvement, and of course we have discipline. Those are the key themes. David presents everything else under those three: mental toughness, self-improvement, and discipline. So when you talk of self-improvement, we are talking of whereby now here David advocates for continuous self-improvement through relentless effort, discipline, and never-ending pursuit of excellence. He encourages us to step outside our comfort zones, embrace discomfort as a catalyst for growth, and never settle for mediocrity. Facing pain. Facing pain is another idea or argument or theme that is presented in this book. So another central theme of the book is the idea of becoming comfortable with pain and suffering. Obstacle is the way. There's a book by Ryan, Obstacle is the Way. Still, David here advocates that we should always see pain and suffering as things that we should always embrace and welcome with comfort. So the idea of becoming comfortable with pain and suffering is widely produced or magnified in this book. Goggins argues that challenges and pain, while they are unpleasant, nobody wants to have pain and challenges. We do always want to have chaos in our lives, a disruption of our lives that we've always known. No one wants pain. No one wants uncertainties. No one wants change, because sometimes change produces pain. They make us move out of our comfort zones. So as much as pain is unpleasant, it is always a necessary ingredient for growth and achieving barriers. There's a book by Jordan Peterson, Beyond Order. That's the title of the book, Beyond Order. Beyond Order by Jordan Peterson says that excessive order and excessive chaos are always not good for progress and growth to a person. Excessive order means that you always have everything that you've always wanted. There is nothing that is disturbing you. You have everything that you want for life. Generally, your life is good. You have everything that you want. So that excessive order is bad for your overall self-development, because it hinders creativity, innovation, and even growth. Still on the other side, excessive disorder or chaos, it's painful. It causes resentment, it causes pain. So he argues that in that book that we should always find a sweet spot between excessive order and excessive chaos. There's that equilibrium, the sweet spot. That is the point of growth. So still in this book, we are seeing that David encourages us to embrace hardship. The moment you see that you are always on the side of order, you are in the side of excessive order, you should always even instigate chaos in your life, so that such hardships, such chaos that you bring in your life will always help you build resilience and unlock your full potential. Number 4 is overcoming obstacles, is another key idea or theme. Goggins details numerous instances where he faced seemingly unsurmountable obstacles, including a traumatic childhood, obesity, and physical limitations. He encourages us to use his experiences as an inspiration to face our own challenges, that is our own challenges, never giving up on our dreams, and believing in the ability to overcome any obstacle. Another idea or theme is the theme of taking responsibility. So Goggins emphasizes on the importance of taking responsibility for our own lives and circumstances. He argues that we are the only people who can control our destiny and achieve our goals. No one else will ever come to help you achieve your destiny. It is upon you. It's upon you to make that a conscious decision and choice to face the challenges, overcome the obstacles, and live to that dream, that destiny that you want. So this book will encourage you to be proactive. To be proactive. How can you start making those conscious choices and start taking ownership of your life? So this book, through Goggins' story, will give us those tips and strategies. How can we be proactive? Not waiting for us to be victims of changes. How can we change proactively? How can we be making those choices, decisions, and taking ownership of our lives? So this book has those details. So another key idea is the importance of finding our purpose, whereby Goggins believes that everyone has a unique purpose in life, and discovering that purpose is the key to achieving true happiness and fulfillment. The book inspires us to explore our passions, identify our unique talents, and align our goals with our purpose for a more fulfilling and meaningful life. The power of visualization is another theme or idea. Goggins emphasizes on the power of visualization in achieving our goals. He believes that visualizing ourselves achieving our goals is with a vivid detail and a belief is the first step towards making them a reality. So what are those daydreams? Daydreams are real dreams. So what are you always daydreaming about? Are you seeing yourself in the future having those achievements that you have? Always embrace daydreaming, because that is a way of visualization, and visualization, the first step of achieving your real tangible results is by visualizing them. Visualize them. Immerse yourself in that experience, in that time of that future. Immerse yourself having achieved all that massive dreams that you've always been thinking of. So embrace daydreams. Visualize your life. Visualize you achieving those goals, because that is the first step towards making them a reality, according to Goggins. Number 8 is inspiration and motivation, is another idea, whereby this book is simply a story of hope and inspiration. It demonstrates that no matter how challenging our circumstances may be, you have the potential to overcome them and achieve anything that you set your mind to. Goggins' personal story inspires us to believe in themselves, that is in ourselves, embrace challenges, and pursue our dreams with unwavering determination. Another idea is number 9, embracing discomfort, whereby Goggins challenges the notion of comfort as a desirable state. He argues that seeking comfort limits personal growth and potential, just as I said in that Jordan Peterson book, Beyond Order. You must also check that book. We also have a summary of it. So in this book, that is now in Goggins' book, he encourages us to embrace discomfort as a necessary catalyst for change, growth, and unlocking our true potential. And as we said, sometimes you will have to instigate to cause discomfort in your life for you to grow and move to the next level, for you to unlock your true potential. Number 10, another theme is gratitude and appreciation. While the book focuses heavily on overcoming hardships, it also emphasizes on the importance of hardship, that is gratitude and appreciation. Goggins acknowledges the significant role of his supporters in his journey and encourages us to cultivate an attitude of gratitude for the positive aspects of our lives. So those are the 10 key themes presented in the book, or key ideas or arguments that are presented in the book. As I wind up part 1, why don't I give you a summary of chapter titles and main sections of the book. Summary of main chapter titles and main sections of the book. Remember, these are summarized and they may not be word by word as they appear in the book. I have tried to summarize because it's a summary for the purposes of this summary. So we can have part 1 whereby we have his childhood, Goggins' childhood. We have chapter 1, the beginning, whereby we have an introduction of Goggins' childhood, which was filled with poverty, abuse, and racism. He highlights his stuttering and weight issues leading to low self-esteem. And we also have his decision to escape and seek a better life. Then still in part 1, still another chapter, David describes his journey to New York City and his struggles with poverty and homelessness. He introduces his first encounter with the military, where he experiences physical and mental challenges. It ends with him joining the Navy SEAL Birds training program. We still have another chapter. The Hell Week details the brutal physical and mental demands of the Navy SEAL. He highlights Goggins' determination and self-discipline in overcoming those obstacles. And we also have that chapter concluding with his graduation and becoming a Navy SEAL. In chapter 4, we have War Within, whereby that chapter explores Goggins' internal struggles with self-doubt and fear, introduces his recovery of running as a form of therapy and self-improvement, and ends with him setting his sights on completing in ultra marathons. The Closed Mind, part 2 of that book, whereby now we are introduced to the 40% rule. By now, Goggins introduces the concept of 40%. Remember, we explained about that earlier on, claiming that most people tap only 40% of their, if people can tap into 40% of their true potential, then they can achieve massive things. So he explains how you can push beyond comfort zones to unlock that percentage. He encourages us to challenge ourselves and embrace discomfort. Run to Failure is another chapter whereby it details Goggins' training regime for ultramarathons, pushing himself to the brink of physical and mental exhaustion. It highlights his relentless pursuit of excellence and refusal to accept failure. And that chapter concludes with his success in various ultramarathons, setting records and defying expectations. We have The Hardest Day, whereby, and it's another chapter, David chronicles his attempt to break the Badwater 135 ultramarathon course record, describes the extreme physical and emotional challenges he faced during that race, and it ends with him overcoming the adversity and achieving his goal, proving his mental resilience. We love the last part, whereby I call it The Legacy, whereby you can have chapter 8, Paying It Forward, whereby David discusses commitment to inspiring others and helping them unlock their potential. It also highlights his work with various organizations and individuals, and also encourages us to pay it forward, to contribute and make the world a better place. Then we have the last chapter, Never Finished, whereby David concludes his message of hope and inspiration, urging us to never give up on our dreams. Well, that is it for part 1. And in part 2, we'll continue to dive deeper into key takeaways. I'll tell you more about him, and I'll also give you book recommendations and ways we can apply this book's knowledge in our lives. So until next time, keep reading, evolving, and tune in for part 2, and tag a friend also. Bye bye for now.